Hello, good evening, and welcome back. We are inching closer to a double-digit number of figures, but for tonight, it is episode number 9, and we have with us three urban designers on our panel tonight. So first of all, let me welcome each one. So we have Navya Sabbathi from Jagtial district of Telangana. Next, we have Romit Singla from Mansa district of Punjab. And finally, we have Mansi Aher from Satara district of Maharashtra. I welcome you all to the panel discussion tonight of Funchayat. And let's start the discussion. I believe network issues are going to for the video quality, but please, I hope you'll understand. Let's start first of all with Navya.
Yeah, hello. First of all, Vedant, thank you so much for this great initiative. So there are incidents where I often go to meetings and say people like, we are a network of 660 plus fellows. Whatever you do, we can, if we can post in our group, it will go places all over the country. So, but I have never tried that way to interact with fellows, to share experiences. Of course, in our cohorts, we can do it. So Rajasthan and Telangana, we can, I know I have good friends. I can share my experiences. And recently we had NIRD training where we met people from Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Jammu and Udaipur. So I have learned from so much from them. And then I really thank you for this, for providing this platform to share experiences and learn from each other and grow together. So first, to start with my introduction, I'm going to utilize my 2 to 3 minutes fully.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Even if you stretch for another minute, that's perfectly fine. It's not like I'm going to censor you or cut you off. Okay, please go on.
Okay, sure. Okay, so as you have already introduced, my name is Navya. I am an architect and urban planner by profession. So, and then, yeah, I got allotted to Jagtial district, Telangana, as Mahatma Gandhi National Fellow. So first of all, I did my bachelor's in architecture from JNFAU and then master's in city planning from IIT Kharagpur. So after that, after my bachelor's, I have an experience of 2 years as a junior architect. And then I have enrolled in master's program. And then during my master's, we have to do an internship. So I did that under my guide, my thesis guide, Professor Joycin, who is now the chairperson for Indian Knowledge System at IIT Kharagpur. And then after my internship and during my thesis period, I have worked with Government of Telangana, Department of Funchayat and Rural Development for a program called Urban Mission. I worked for spatial planning for them. And then after that, I worked as a visiting faculty in my own bachelor's college. And then, while searching for job opportunities, I somehow got, saw this notification for this fellowship. 3 of us, my best friends, both of my best friends, and then we have applied. Fortunately or unfortunately, I got selected for this program.
And the others did.
No, from 3 of us, I got selected for this program. This is my first part of introduction. Okay, there is cool. One more part of my, there is one more introduction. There is one more part of my introduction. So I am basically a zero waste lifestyle practitioner or an advocate. I am a climate enthusiast. So I do climate change advocacy. And then I am a member of working groups called City under YOUNGO, that is under UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So I am a member of YOUNGO working group Cities, and then I am a member of Unify as well. I wanted to share more about these things, but we'll move forward.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Romit?
Yeah, so Hello everyone. So my name is Romit and I am posted in Mansa district in Punjab. And Mansa, you must have heard through the connection of Sidhu Moosewala maybe. So he was
Okay.
a great singer. He was also born there. Interestingly, I was also born in Mansa, so so it's sort of like I've come full circle. And you know, basically, I'm happy that I'm able to contribute through this fellowship in my like birthplace. So yeah, in that sense, Mansa is special to me. And yeah, I talking about my background, like I have done my bachelor's in planning, urban planning, from SPA Bhopal. And after that, I was working as a consultant in a real estate firm called JLL for 2 years. I used to do government consulting with clients like Indian Railways or Madhya Pradesh Metro Rail on like guiding them on the feasibility for the real estate, a part of their project. And apart from that, I then I shifted to travel sector. I wanted to do something of my own, so I like went on an entrepreneurial journey where we designed group experiences, group travel experiences for people. So that was an interesting part for me. I did that for a bit for 1 year or so, and learned a lot about like how to design experiences, how to create beautiful experiences for people so that they become engaging for people. So yeah, that was a interesting period. I did that for 1 year, but then COVID came. So everybody, as we know, during COVID, came back to their like home state. So I also came back to Punjab, uh, and so then I connected to a non-profit which was working in the education sector. So I worked there for another year or so, and the aim of that NGO was to like improve the learning and governance in the government schools of Punjab. So yeah, so that was my journey so far, and then now I'm here in MGNF.
Oh, cool. And Mansi, right after, like, Mansi was the first participant in our like dry. We did a dry run episode at IIM Nagpur, so she was there, and now finally on episode number 9. Mansi.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. So, uh, Vedant already knows me. I won't be thanking for the initiative because, yeah, like he said, I've already been there on the trial episodes and thanked enough for his initiative. So, yeah, so I'm posted in Satara district in Maharashtra. It falls in the western region of Maharashtra. And I am basically from Pune, born and brought up in Pune. I did my graduation from BKPS College of Architecture, which I completed in 2006. Worked for 2 years in Nasik as a junior architect. And so yeah, after that, I wanted to pursue masters. So urban design was a relatable field which I wanted to continue in. I was not much interested in planning. So I'm an urban designer. These two are planners. Yeah. So then
Very
I got
clear
into
distinction.
SPA book. Yeah, we
Yeah.
should be creating that distinction, no?
Yeah.
So then I went on to pursue my master's from SPA Bhopal. Romit, you must be my senior. I don't know. I never.
Oh,
Sorry.
interesting.
Which batch were you?
I graduated in 2016.
Oh, so we must have
Yeah.
not ever seen each other. I graduated in 2020, just before
Okay.
COVID.
Okay.
So I got in and you passed out of the college, I guess. So yeah. And then yeah, 2020 I passed out, completed my post graduation. During the post graduation, we also had to intern. That was a very short experience with the Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority. Um, and then after that, uh, our graduation itself happened, post-graduation or degree itself happened quite late, like in December. Usually it happens in March. So because of COVID itself, it got delayed. And after that, I worked in an NGO for slum redevelopment and project. And after that, I got into a college in Pune, MMCOF, just till I found something, a field. I wanted to be in field work only, but till I got a job which I found interesting enough, I needed some income and some stability. So I just joined one college. I was not really much interested in teaching job. Um, and then this fellowship was again introduced to me by my best friend. And then she ended up not giving the exam, not applying for it. I gave it, got it, and I found out of all the options that I had, this seemed something interesting, something different. And of course, IIM and the stipend, and I talked with my professors also, so they were also like, it will be a nice addition because whenever you work on urban scale projects, there are different people from different fields. So this will give you more weightage also because you will have diverse experience. So I was like, let's go for it. So yeah, that's how I ended up here.
I have a question. Nobody is from UPSC background, right?
I am.
No.
I am appeared.
We're talking about us.
I appeared thrice.
Right.
Like
Wow.
when we met the entire cohort, I think like must have been the case with all of us. Everyone in the cohort is like UPSC aspirant, and they have so much of general knowledge regarding everything. I felt so bad, like, okay, what have I done in my life till now? These people have so much of knowledge.
You know, as soon as
Okay,
listening to them, my insecurities kicked in. Like, okay, I don't know anything. Maybe these fellows know something more than me.
Okay, fine. And I'm Vedant, as everyone knows, and my only relation with this whole urban space is that I have done my postgrad in urban environmental law, and my ex is currently working in Ministry of Urban Affairs.
इतना connection चलेगा.
So yeah, let's talk about our district.
Nice. So should I?
Yeah, please.
So yeah, as I've already mentioned, my district is Jagtial district in Telangana. So it is in the northern part of Telangana. So you might have heard of Karimnagar district.
Yeah.
At least people from Maharashtra.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is carved out of Karimnagar district after bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So there used to be 10 districts. Again, they made it into 33 districts. So it is carved out of Karimnagar district. So there is a huge influence of Gulf countries as well as people from here. At least one from each household migrate to Gulf countries here in erstwhile Karimnagar. So this district is primarily agrarian. People grow paddy. Mostly the paddy is grown here. There are no large industries. There used to be one, that is Nizam Sugar Factory. But due to, as you know, government gives MSP for paddy. So previously they used to grow sugarcane, turmeric, chili, sesame seeds, and all the other millets as well, along with the paddy. But because government gives MSP for paddy, people started shifting to paddy itself. So yeah, that is the story of why only paddy is grown in Jagtial. And then ODOP for this district is mango, because mango, whatever the mango is grown here, is exported to northern part of our country, northern states of our country.
What variety is it?
Benishan, Banganwali, Benishan. So that is exported under the name of Jagtial traders through, and then it is not only exported to all over, northern part of the country. It is also exported to Dubai or
All right.
Saudi. So, and one more thing I wanted to tell, that I found this as interesting.
Mhm.
Whenever there is a mango season, right now, the summer,
Yeah.
there will be at least one train per day which travels from Jagtial to Delhi.
Oh,
One train with 18 to 20 bogies.
of mangoes. Wow.
That's how mango
Amazing.
is exported to there.
So that's something you can boast on. I come from land of Alfonso mangoes. So
Okay.
yeah, cool.
So
So
apart from these
yeah.
both, people are dependent on their occupation, like
Mhm.
community occupation. Some are dependent on bamboo crafts. Some are dependent on clay. So depending on their communities, they are doing their livelihoods. So yeah, this is about my district. We can move
Cool.
forward.
Cool. Romit.
Yeah, so Mansa is it's also a rural district primarily, and agriculture is the major economy of the district. And so, like even the kind of projects that I have been able to do have been related to agriculture sector mostly. Um, and yeah, I think apart from that, like it's also famous for the production of cotton. So a lot of cotton is grown here. The whole like Malwa belt of
Mhm.
Punjab, it's known for its cotton production. So uh, the cotton yarn that is prepared from this cotton is exported like all across India as well as in outside countries. Um, yeah, that's all. That's the landlocked area. There's nothing that you can like do over here. It's a very small area. And कुछ भी इसको ऐसा कुछ वो भी नहीं मिला है like designation भी नहीं, not even a backward or something. Just a general district. And but yeah, it's my birthplace, so it's in that way it's exciting to me. So,
Okay, cool.
There's one more interesting thing. Like when
Yeah.
I was born, my father was working in Jagtial district.
Oh.
oh, interesting.
So you
Otherwise,
had been to Jagtial before, like
no.
only he was working. You never visited him.
I have visited, I guess, but I don't remember them.
Okay. Good. Mansi.
Yeah, so my district Satara. So Satara is like neighboring district to my home district, but I've never been before over there. And I have wanted to always work sometime in rural areas, but Satara was somewhere in between, neither too developed, neither very rural. Like, of course, some parts of it will obviously be rural, but so when first I came, I was not very excited looking at the place because from Pune or metro city to something like this, I felt lost in it. I was like, कि मुझसे नहीं होगा शायद, but I was like, ठीक है, let's give it a try for some days. And so Satara, in terms of its geography, is very varied because in the western part lies the Western Ghats. In the middle are the plains, and then on the eastern part are the drought-prone areas. So accordingly, the occupation structure also varies because in the Western Ghats, you will see tourism in certain areas like Mahabaleshwar, Panchmani. Uh, there's Koyna Dam, one of the biggest hydroelectric power station comes in over here. Then there are windmills also. So all that lies on the western part with a lot of tourism potential. Then rest of it is agriculture mostly. In the eastern drought-prone area, they are into goat rearing and pulses cultivation. And western, of course, due to heavy rainfall, there's paddy and then there's strawberry cultivation in Mahabaleshwar. Yeah, and the ODUP is sugarcane. So yeah, that's it about my district, I guess.
Cool. Because if you drag the line of drought-prone areas towards
Yeah.
east, then you reach Latur. Because 2015-16, there were severe droughts in Maharashtra. Latur was one of it. And we had those trains coming from Mumbai where people had contributed heavily for water supply, and those trains or tankers, whatever it was, they reached Latur and a couple of neighboring districts. So it was that drought stricken. But thanks to some really good planning by the district administration, now since then we have never had any drought prone situation yet in the last 6 or 7 years. So that's one good thing. The other is like Mansi mentioned, sugar. So sugarcane is also one of the most major crops of Latur, and given one of the ex-chief ministers of Maharashtra, Vilasrao Deshmukh, and his family, they own a huge sugar factory in Latur. Other than that, see, our ODOP is actually tur dal and soybean, because these two are such important products over here that India may, when you set the MSPs, they actually take a reference from Latur's market. It's that important. So that is the level of contribution of Latur. Other than that, see, one of the problems I have faced is not a problem. I see rather see the district headquarters is located on the western border, so that's the only area where you see some sort of development. Otherwise, on the eastern front, all the talukas more or less feel a bit neglected, underdeveloped a lot. If I feel like if the central taluka was the district headquarters, probably the development would have been more radiated in all directions. So that's one issue. Yeah, that's Latur.
Not necessary in
Not
Satara. It
necessarily,
is,
yeah.
I think, situated in the central only, but doesn't make a difference. The eastern parts remain ignored. Yeah, but
Yeah, again, it
otherwise,
also depends
Satara is a
upon the main taluka Latur, then other taluka being Langa, where we had another chief minister of Maharashtra. So then these talukas find a little bit more development as compared to the other.
yeah.
Yeah.
True. Otherwise, Satara is very beautiful. But I think because of that only I felt comfortable here, because on weekends you can go around and very nearby you'll find all these beautiful places. There are
True.
waterfalls and monsoons. Yeah. So I'm waiting
So
for
you
that
have
now.
Mahabaleshwar, Panchgani, and Vaiyal, like three major hill stations
Yeah,
and
Vai
tourism
also.
destinations. Yeah.
It's close to
Yeah.
Pune then, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Yes,
2 hours
it's
away from
close.
Pune.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I'll be in Satara to
These
run a
places are
marathon.
amazing.
I'll be in Satara to run a
Yeah,
marathon in the month of
Satara.
September. Yeah. So it's sort of like a very iconic marathon where you have to run uphill then downhill. So it's crazy. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
3 of our cohort MGNFs will be participating in that. And it's one of the like worldwide known marathon, and it attracts some foreigners also come over here. So it's quite famous and one of the difficult ones.
What's the
We have
difference?
to,
What's
we have
the
to resort
distance
to
between?
Himachal.
Sorry?
What's the distance
Three.
between Latur and Satara?
About 400 kilometers, I'd say.
400.
That's too much.
Okay, cool.
I was just saying that we Punjabis have to resort to Himachal always to find such places.
Yeah.
So that is our go-to spot, to find such places. Because Punjab as such is a very
Okay. So we'll talk about the work we are doing, the projects and all. Navya.
Not me. Now we'll go in a reverse order.
Okay, fine. Mansi, would you like to take over again?
Or we'll give chance to Romit.
Romit, yeah, please. So this is the point where everyone has gone completely quiet.
Yeah.
No, I got stuck actually.
Sure. We all were.
Yeah.
Is it like जब तक increment नहीं मिलेगा we won't talk about our projects as well?
Yeah, man, we should do something about that.
Yeah.
Increment लगवाने का कुछ तो जुगाड़ करना पड़ेगा. But yes,
Cool.
maybe I
Romit, we
can
were
start.
telling that you will start with the work that you are doing in your district.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, you
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, so what were you discussing? Projects, right?
Yeah, projects.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying that agriculture sector जो है उसमें I wanted to do something regarding, so I basically started off with like deciding what target groups I want to cater to, and so being like Mansa being a rural district, so I thought why not like have farmers like as a target group. And another target group that I was focusing on was the self-help groups within self-help groups. So these two target groups I chose particularly because I thought that I would be able to show some sort of like impact if I like have a particular sort of group which I can focus on. And so for farmers, and also the idea was that we don't want to sort of try and do some sort of a skill based course or something, but maybe just help, how can we help create an ecosystem for these target groups so that they can earn their livelihoods in a much better way. So that was the whole idea behind the two, like mainly the two projects that I am able to do here, or able to initiate at least, not complete right now. So first is like we designed a chatbot, a WhatsApp-based chatbot for farmers, where they can like get information about like the nearest mandi's prices, the what are the prices going on in the mandis. Then if individually if the farmer wants to check price for a particular crop, that also is possible. Then weather updates if they want, and all this like information regarding whatever information that will help them do better farming in on the piece of land, was we tried to put that on that chatbot. And it wasn't like that it wasn't available before, but like so
Exactly,
there's
which is
a
what I was
Punjab
going to ask.
agriculture.
Like the existing
Yeah,
government setup, they also tried through some central schemes. So to in the
yeah,
e-mandi, and then against certain radio channels as well,
sure,
they promote some like farming based
right.
programs. So how exactly is it any different from?
Right. So, see, the idea was that all this information is available online, but the thing is, it's available either on website or on an app, which the
Okay.
farmer isn't using that much. But WhatsApp is something that the farmer is using definitely. So just bringing all that knowledge, all those resources on a platform that is usable for the farmer is what was the idea behind this project. So so basically we had the information, we had to either we had to translate it into Punjabi. So I collaborated with the non-profit, which was they were also their mission was to create technology for farmers. So like the idea just aligned very nicely with them. So so they were able to build that for us, and then we have been able to launch it right now, but we are still tracking like what is the user statistics right now, and how are the farmers able is it even useful for them. So that part of monitoring and tracking is going on right now. So yeah, so this was one project that I've been able to do. And other was related to self-help groups, where the idea was that for any self-help group to like establish a good business, it is very important for them to first have understanding of like basic reading writing skills. And even if they want to like let's say manage their accounts, they should have that knowledge of how to manage their bank accounts, or even if they have to sign on that. So all that part, like that basic, we call it functional literacy skills. So all those functional literacy skills have to be like there with the self-help groups if they want to really first like start building any sort of an enterprise or any sort of a product. So this so starting from like providing that sort of an ecosystem to the self-help group. We started these like literacy-based classes sort of in the district, and we took the help of the education department. So the primary education department has certain set of volunteers with them who are paid volunteers by the government. So they sort of got engaged with us, and we, for a pilot, we started with a block. At the block level, we chose a block, and we took some like interested self-help group women from the self-help group, and we sort of started the classes for them. And the for this particular phase, the idea was just to like get them to read and write in Punjabi, and get them to at least write their own signatures. So this was the goal for this particular, and this is not something that has not been done before. It has been like, I think many districts have done this, and I think recently Mandla district was in news for this as well.
Right.
So I think they have been able to achieve 100% literacy in the district. So our goal is also to like achieve that number. But yeah, it's just a small start for now. So this is what we've been able to do for the self-help groups. And apart from that, like also just to like have an online presence of, let's say, after building this base of literacy skills, if the self-help groups want to sell their products or sell their finished goods somewhere, so we have created a Mansa Hunar Haat platform for them, where they can we can post their products, and then we can sort of but it's at a very nascent stage right now, so
Right.
that is
So
something.
over here we sort of have like and annually we have a huge what do you say sale of products of SHGs, and then but then it's not directly connected to the market areas, the central marketplace. They yeah, arranged a huge pandal and tents and all for those women-based SHGs, but it was on the sports ground, so hardly any people will visit over there who are like eager customers. So that's one of the major stuff.
Yeah. So we actually tried to launch a shop by the name of Mansa Hunar Haat here. But physically, if you open a shop, and since Mansa is a very small district, there's no footfall over here. So you won't get that kind of a audience like who will like buy the product. So that the idea was like, how can we take this online, and how can we sort of ensure bulk orders for products such as, like, for example, one of the self-help groups here, they prepare file covers, which are easily like we can promote the use of it in even in the district administration, as well as in some college or universities where basic stationery requirements are like needed for those particular students. So the idea is to how can we get these sort of bulk orders for these self-help groups, so that they can, even if they are making something, it is worthwhile for them. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's these are the projects. Yeah.
So we waited now either Mansi or Navya.
Anything like,
Yeah.
should I go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I'll start with a story where on how Jagtial got its name. So there's a fort in Jagtial that is the only star-shaped fort in the state, and second star-shaped fort in South India. So it was designed by Jagtial, two French engineers. So that's how this city got its name as it got its name as Jagtial.
Oh, interesting.
So when was it built? Like
it is around I think 12th century, I guess.
And then was the area under Nizam control later on?
I think this story is before that. It is between Chalukya's period or I mean there are two stories to it. There is a king called Jagga Mahadeva. So some believe that this city got its name after him, and some believe that it got its name after these two French engineers.
Okay.
So this is the story of the name Jagtial. And why did I tell this? Because I'm working on the project, the restoration project of the fort
Wow.
currently. And then there is also Stepwell in Korutla, that is also a municipal municipality under Jagtial district. So there is a Stepwell there as well. I am working on that, on that project also. This is the current project that these are the current projects that I'm working on. Why did I get this projects? When I first came to the district, I got used to introduce myself as an architect and urban planner. Suddenly, after coming to the district, everyone will be like, okay, fellow. Okay. And but I have never stopped introducing myself as an architect and urban planner. So first, when I went to meet my collector, he got transferred. Now I got a new collector now. So when I went to him, I have introduced myself as an architect and an urban planner, and then I was like, okay, I got this opportunity in this fellowship, so I have to work in public policy and management, because this is all the course is about. And he was like, he remembered only my profession. Next time we have a public grievance uh, session on every Monday mornings. So once I went to him in that meeting only, in that session only, once I went to him and I met him, because he invited me there, I think, to introduce me to other district officials. So when I went there, he's like, what are you doing? What are the current projects that you're working on? This is after 1 month after meeting him. So I told him, then I was working on Jagtial master plan, because I wanted to put my expertise in use. So I went to municipal corporation Jagtial, and then I met town planners there, because those are the people that I can relate to, or I can understand what is happening in the district. So yeah, with zero UPSC knowledge, I could do that in initial stages. So I went to them, and then I asked them for the master plan that they were preparing. So when I went to them, when I went to the collector, he was asking like, what are the projects that you're working on? I told him that I'm working on master plan, and he's like, no, master plan is all about road widening. Don't work on that. You just go around the city and then do the city beautification plan. Don't work on master plan. It is all about road widening. So then I decided that this fellowship for this fellowship I am overqualified. So that's the story. When initially I had to work on planning projects, and then I left it off like in between only. And then after understanding what is public policy, and then what my friends are working on, so we had NIMI assignments as well, right?
Yeah.
So I started working on those, and then I kind of prepared project briefs for training programs, because I'm interested in this climate change and all these things, climate practitioner. So I used to give preference to the ones that are really needed, like need of the hour projects. So I have designed or planned for horticulture activities in my district, and then solid waste management activities. For all those things, first, when I planned, coordinated with departments, brought that convergence in those departments in district administration, I could do everything. I did all of that. I did estimates. I pulled in people, mobilized people with the help of DRDA, that is District Rural Development Department. And then MEPMA is the urban poverty elimination, this thing. And then I had coordinated with every department. I had prepared project briefs. I had prepared estimates, and then I have submitted it to my additional collector. Then what happened? She told me, okay, when are you going to give money? You prepared all of this. When are you going to give money? That also you should mention. Then I was like, okay, ma'am, we are not, I mean, we had no authority to provide financial support. We are here to provide our, to give away our expertise or preparation, or we'll help in the preparation or the convergence of the departments. And she's like, no, I thought you are going to give funds as well, because you are from Ministry of Skill Development. And okay, no, then when I clarified my job role in the district, she's like,
who was asking for this funding?
additional collector.
Oh.
Then when I clarified my job role with her, like, she is like, okay, write a letter to the state department asking for funds. We can't guarantee whether if this training activity will continue or not. Then I got demotivated, and that was the first project that I worked on. And then I have prepared a project brief for bamboo crafts training as well. So there are 100 communities in my district. Those are dependent on bamboo crafts. They do only the basket weaving. Rest all, I wanted to diversify the products where they also can earn much more of what they are earning now. So I have prepared project brief and then submitted it to NABARD, NABARD DDM. So they give grants to these NGOs, and then those NGOs will provide training by getting the trainings and all. So for this also I have worked enough, like worked in all the aspects, and then the coordination is done, everything is done, I have submitted. The grant part is missing now. Like they are telling that this is the end of, like in March, they told that this is the end of the financial year. We'll start fresh from next month. So I'm still waiting for it. Apart from this, these are my failure projects. Apart from these, I have worked I have worked for the training program on advanced fashion designing, where this is also under NABARD only. They have provided the grants to NGOs, and then the NGO, they got the trainer, and then they have provided training. So I have, worked on the youth aspiration survey as well, to find out what the youth aspirations are. And then I have visited schools in the starting stages, not now, in the starting stages, whenever we got the assignments, then I have visited the schools and all. So apart from these all things, I since I have already told that I have an interest in environment, I have organized and facilitated clay idol making workshop for Ganesh Jayanti. I have gone there, and I have also took part in that hands-on experience by making clay idol of the Ganesha. And then I used to attend every SHG meeting, be it at the ZS level, Jilla Samakhya level, or the VO level, village organization level. So I used to attend, I have covered almost every meeting in my district. And then I used to give awareness about the sustainable development goals. localization of sustainable development goals, and then the sustainable way of life. I used to preach what all I used to practice. Like I used to carry my own handbag, and then I used to carry my own cutlery with me. Yeah, all the cutlery with me, and then the water bottle. So I used to preach what all I used to practice. And today, to my surprise, I got invited to a Mandal Samakya meeting. And they were like, okay, ma'am, we have a surprise for you. And they were like, okay, from today we are eliminating single-use plastic. They used to eat in that paper plates, which has thin line of plastic on it. So today they called me and they are like, okay, ma'am, from today onwards we are replacing all the single-use plastic items. We got all the steel plates, steel bottles, and steel glasses. They were showing me like this is the I don't believe in that moments, but this is like a magical moment where I have succeeded. What all I have done in the past 1.5 year, that that got success. I mean, I got successful.
Right.
That's what I felt. So this is what I did till now. Whatever I have done in the past 1.5 year, people are practicing it or people are thinking about it. So I was persistent in preaching. That's why this could happen maybe. And then I have also participated in skill training and entrepreneurship awareness sessions, like vision building exercises that were planned for a few model samakyas, mandal samakyas. So I have given them orientation on how to think in the lines of future prospects. So what all they are dreaming of, like what are their dreams. So I have given an orientation session there as well. So yeah, after my bachelor's and master's, I could gain some skill sets, right? That I could put in use in designing e-newsletter for my Jilla Samakya. And then I have prepared a success story booklet with 200 plus success stories. So that's where my designing skills came into picture. And then we had an event called in Telangana. We had an event called Impulse. That is a social entrepreneurship expo. We have attended like all our Telangana cohort fellows. We have attended it in April 2022. For that was the first time we as a cohort came together. We distributed works and then we worked together. We coordinated and we worked together. And we have represented MGNF there. We had a stall and we displayed the work, the areas of work that we work in. And then we have started designing our own logo for MGNF Telangana. We had our own banner to display there. And then I have designed the state face map. Probably we were the first ones to make it, maybe.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah, I have designed that. Like we had a design group in that team only, coordination team. We had separate design group, and then we had designed that, and then we had designed our own T-shirts, so etc.
Okay, cool.
So this was my work. This was my work.
The initial part you're talking about reviving of the step 12. I feel like I had sort of submitted a concept note. So in Maharashtra, there was this engineering cum consultant guy, not related to any department. Okay, during COVID ka lockdown, he traveled all across Maharashtra on his bike. and then he geotagged every single step well in Maharashtra. So there is a map. Like I saw this thing on BBC. So there is a map, and on the map of Maharashtra, you can see every single step well. So like, is there some similar initiative, like maybe like you guys could replicate in your district probably, if there's.
Okay, but the government of Telangana is
Mhm.
now keen in restoring all the step wells or
Oh,
all the
okay.
heritage monuments.
Okay, cool.
So this is an initiative of Principal Secretary, MANUD, Municipal
Mhm.
Administration and Urban Development. So this is an initiative by him.
Oh, okay.
We got an order from the state.
All right. Mansi?
Yeah, so I wish I also had these kind of projects, but Maharashtra tourism is not that active in such projects of restoration and conservation. So, or even tourism promotion, we are not that active. So yeah, when I came to the district, uh, I thought that I should go with an open mind. Of course, even I wanted to work on initially some urban planning or urban design, what the district is, how the administration works. So I think a lot of time went in that, and through all these mini assignments, I was trying to understand how a district is. And like Vedant knows, we had a lot of problems with our district administration also at the ground level. So who are not very happy about MGNFs coming in the districts and having a direct interaction with the collector. So all that also needed to be catered with. And so I didn't get to meet my collector that often. Um, in like now the collector has changed for me also, but the initial collector was actually very enthusiastic. So when he started to recognize, like it took time to form a rapport with him, and he finally recognized that okay, this girl is doing work, she wants to work. So finally he started calling me himself only to the office and started um, giving certain work. So he was gonna appoint me as like PMO tourism initiative. So I was very excited for it. Finally, something related to my field, I'll be able to get thing to do in it. But then we had our AM2, and my collector got transferred. So then again, the new collector and all that journey starts. Uh, and but even then, on my own, I initiated certain small projects like so when we came, COVID was still going on. So some skill, we already had skill training programs in our department. So I tried to include like market and publicize about these courses till the COVID for the COVID women and the orphans who must have lost their parents during COVID. So we tried to include as many as we could in these skill training programs. So that I worked on that collaborative project between two departments of women and child development and our skill development department. Then secondly, I've worked on jail inmate skill training program, and that has been done in, I think 3-4 more districts in Maharashtra. So initially we started when Diwali was coming close, so we started with making of lanterns as a small first project. Then we did training of computer assistant and motor rewilding training, since many of them are from agriculture field, and also in vegetable gardening. So now we have started growing vegetables within the jail itself. Yesterday I read an article about it. Like so that has been started in the jail vicinity. So yeah, these were some of the projects, and then uh, another one was about transgender, because my new collector was keen about doing something for that. So for them also, I think I restricted myself to very skilled development department only. So they wanted to learn typing and computer related courses, MSCIT and all, because many of them were planning to apply for UPSC, MPSC jobs. So they needed this as a thing for them. So initiating that, I mean, it wasn't a big thing, but still someone had to initiate that and bring it down. So now 5 transgenders are getting trained in that courses, and they'll be giving their exams in June. Um, then I worked on one tribal development project. So like that I have initiated, it hasn't yet been implemented. So there are Katkari tribals in this area. So their main occupation is fishing, but along with that, they have also been collecting honey from the forest. So getting them back into this mainstream, and we have a beekeeping center in our district in Mahabaleshwar. So which train these people in more sustainable way of collecting honey, because right now the way they collect is mostly burning the beehive and killing the bees. So and bee community is something that is very needed for maintaining our flora and fauna. So teaching them a sustainable way of collecting honey, and the government, after they are certified in this particular skill, the government themselves also buy honey from them, because then that is like a pure honey, more proper honey, good quality honey that is being collected. So that is one project that we are working. So right now we have been able to mobilize, done the mobilization and all, but again, because it was March end, so the project could not get grant as of now. So I'm also waiting for the same thing to propose it
So-
again in the coming month.
Satara, I believe
From the
you
district innovation funds.
you have the first ever
Yeah.
you have the first ever honey village in India, right? Manjar something.
Honey Village, yeah.
So are you
We
trying to
have
like
the first
expand?
ever.
Are you trying to expand it or
Yeah,
like?
so yeah, I worked on that also, but no, not expand it, because that model is like they want to promote already existing traditional rural economy of the village and bring tourism, relating tourism and the rural economy. That is what they are trying to do. So here I'm trying to empower the tribals and increase their income. Like this will be like an additional business for them. So there is nothing about village development as such, or them being a collective thing, because already they live in hamlets, and there's a lot of trust issues between themselves. They are not very community oriented people who live together. They live in like groups of 10 families, 15 families, different at different locations. So I'm not replicating that, but yeah, the basic thing is about honey collection and beekeeping, because that is what they have been there doing it traditionally. And also we tried making them understand about different other options, like nowadays the kind of aspirations youth have. But these people being tribals, they're not really interested in doing jobs. They don't like that confined environment and rules and regulations, so they want more free. So we thought, let's first get them into their own occupation. Let's think about what we can do to improve what they're already being doing. So yeah, so that is one. And in fishing also, I'm trying if we could do some initiatives in that. And along with that, so I wanted to do something in tourism also, if there could be some initiatives from my end related to urban design. So I have been working on that. So I'll be giving a project briefs regarding that to my collector. Let's hope he gives me some good projects to work on further. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I like Romit, sorry. So like Romit said, he was trying something for the functional literacy for the SDGs. So something similar that we did in our department is we signed, we thought there are already some courses are there by NS, like by NSDC, all these courses are there, standard courses. But other than that, there are many basic courses required by people, such as typing or MSCIT courses, or this digital literacy, financial literacy, which everyone wants, or some simple computer handling things. So for that, we needed some extra people or extra help from outside. So what we did is we signed MOU with one college institute, which already has incubation center with them. So through them, we are getting all these mentors and people, professors who will be helping us in going to ground level and conducting this digital and financial literacy sessions for the women. And in ITIs, we'll be conducting entrepreneurship and soft skill development programs. So this is one project that we have been able to do. Yeah, that's all.
I think there are a couple of things I can repeat for my districts because one of them was jail training. We tried a couple of times, then we submitted a concept note, but that never really materialized. The other part was regarding COVID, and okay, so like I mentioned, during the drought season, there were a lot of farmers who had died by suicide. So their widows and the remaining family. So what we tried is getting them included in some of our skill training programs. The problem that I faced over here is the larger thrust is upon introducing programs which are like the beautician training or this tailoring. These are the only two, yeah. And then only those batches these women were inducted in. So that's another thing that I did. So yeah, regarding sustainability, so I had mentioned a couple of projects, but then finally getting other players involved and stakeholders, it was quite uphill task. So the final output has never arrived yet, but then I'm still hopeful like at least something I can do in that direction. Okay, so this kind of brings us toward the end of part one, and yeah, now this I'll throw open the discussion, given that we have three urban designers, and it sort of remains my area of interest because so as I roam around this district of Latur, primarily the city area. What it hurts me is like the painful absence of trees over here. Given the location, then again you know the urban heat island effect and the clustered living. So the temperatures around these areas soars to 44, 45 degrees. So again, like what are the scenarios? Like I believe Navya, you mentioned something regarding city beautification. So what is
Yeah.
your experience, Jagtial?
So I mentioned that I was given, I was assigned to work on that, but I never worked on that.
Okay.
So yeah, but government of Telangana came up with a cool roof policy where each house has to be painted with a cool paint or the solar reflective paint.
Reflective paint, right?
Yeah. So they came up with the policy recently, and it will be hopefully it will be implemented. And it reduces the urban heat
Yeah.
island.
Albedo effect will go on.
Urban heat island.
Okay. The reflection, it's called albedo.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
UPSC syllabus.
Sorry. Romit, Mansi, if you'd like to pitch in, like what is the scenario in your district? So copying, like
It's the
even a
same.
couple of,
It's the same
yeah.
in Telangana. Temperatures are going up to 45, 46.
Yeah. And then again, like when it comes to waste management, I see the like painful lack of segregation practices over here. So in my office now, so taking cue from you, what you said regarding you carry your own stuff, and also people in my office, they used to simply throw away whatever like waste jitna hota tha, they randomly just toss the cup of tea or whatever. But when I am around, they will properly dispose it off in a waste basket, and if it is a plastic bag, then they will fold and keep it with them. So this is one of the things that I have been able to influence in my district. But other
It
than
feels
that,
good, right? Like
yeah, it feels good. But
whenever
then
I
again,
go somewhere, they'll be like, okay, if you have plastic, please hide it. And I have given a representation to my collector, to my old collector, that single-use plastic items should be banned in the collectorate, and he had given a circular to all the departments in the collectorate.
Oh, over here, so see,
That was
a
one of
lot
the
of people actually they chew tobacco and the related products and they spit on the corner intersections of walls. So what the administration has done in so many buildings, they have put mirrors, either mirrors on corners so that people see themselves. Okay, that's one. The second is they have like babies keep posters and all this. So who would want to spit on a baby? But that is something they try to do.
or
So
God.
yeah, or like gods, they don't like steps pe to nahi lagayenge. So but now the problem is the people don't spit on the corners of stairwells, they spit in the in between the well. So
Yeah, people always have their ways.
yeah.
Relax.
True. There's a very interesting like example that I think I'm sure maybe Navya might definitely would have heard of it. Like if you like just show people like what is their sort of, if you want to, let's say, reduce consumption of anything, so it is better to just show them what sort of consumption has been there. So like for example, in a colony, what was tried was that on the road of that colony, uh, outside every person's house, his or her like electricity consumption trend was being mapped on the road, so that the household is able to know that acha, this is my consumption, like, and then usko agar reduce, then it sort of becomes sort of a game for them that I have to reduce.
Yeah, competition. Yeah, I have heard of it.
I have to reduce this reduction, and that is sort of painted by the municipal corporation on the road in front of their household. That figure, that trend.
Can you share some photos, like maybe we can put it up in.
Sure.
Right.
No, I'll do
Okay.
it.
Okay, cool.
I don't have it right now, but
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, regarding sort of giving positive nudges to people, recently Niti Aayog had this lifestyle for environment just to promote circular economy practices in the district, or this is wherever you are. So I had given a paper, then it was regarding reducing food waste and trying to influence people that way. So the starting point which I wanted was to be restaurants where people are randomly, like, they're ordering more and more dishes, but then they will eat only this part and then throw away. So if they could possibly pack it with them, or give it away to certain organizations, like there is Robin Hood Army and all. But one of the issues that I faced with the restaurant owners is they're like, we don't care if people are ordering more as long as we are getting our profit margins right here. Why would we ask people to reduce their food waste? So this is something that I found like a tough pill to climb.
I think no, but
Yeah.
regarding this, there's another fact I think that is, I think now even SEBI has asked like all companies to give their ESG reports as well. So now I think that would also play a big factor in like the share price of the company. And when the share price of the companies will get affected due to the ESG reports that they are sharing to SEBI, I guess then probably the like any company would like sort of you know
Take measures.
would care about like think about environment for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it is directly connected to their profits. So until and unless it doesn't have that connection, it won't be a matter of concern for them. Anyway.
Okay, Mansi, you were saying something.
Nothing about the urban heat island thing only. In Satara, it is, I think it's around 36, 38, not as high as, of course, Telangana and Latur. But yeah, it's still bad. And I think while I was working with Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority, that time they were doing this Miyawaki forest plantation thing. So they have been trying to develop all those all across the urban areas of the city in order to reduce that. But I think in Ahmedabad itself, that Sabarmati River rejuvenation project that they have done, that itself is a big urban heat island. You walk along it, you can feel at night also all the heat being emitted from that concrete wall. They are very proud about that project, but I think it's one of the worst things that they have done.
Yeah. Even when we go to like IIM and even the professors there, they like there's a very mixed bag of people. The ones who support that project, the ones who like are totally against it. So it's a mix. Whenever we have gone there, we faced that.
Okay, and when it comes to inclusion in public spaces, like how do you perceive it? Because let's say I have spent the last 10, 12 years, the major years of, when you start gaining knowledge. So those are the years I spent in Pune. So when we see inclusion sort of like being embedded, planning more open spaces, more spaces that are safe for even children and women to access. These are the things that I find absence when it comes to like the districts which are away from these progressive ideas. What about your district? Like, or have they at least tried in some ways, some efforts have been put into towards that?
In my district, I don't think that is happening much because it is mostly, I think all these things are coming more of in the more developed cities. Abhi,
Yeah.
the tier 2, tier 3 are still a little behind in these kind of initiatives. Uh, but some initiatives that I know of is there's one organization in Delhi itself, Safety Pin Karke. So what those people do is they map all these, they have this app in which women can give their opinions regarding if they are feeling, what do they feel in certain areas. And then they record they get these responses and they show to the administration, that for this area, these are the kind of the responses we got, that maybe there's no proper footpath or maybe there's no lighting enough, so women are not feeling safe, or there are very dead walls or something. So then the administration also takes into consideration all those responses, and they have tried improving on those areas. And in Pune, about the inclusion thing, so in footpaths and all, they have started, many of the footpaths in Pune are now being renewed. So they have started including all those guidelines for the blind people
Tactile,
over
we call
there.
it tactile, yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah, and yeah, so that is happening, and also of course inclusion of the cyclist people, making a separate lane for them. I mean, that is not the inclusion you're talking about, but they are in road driveways and all, everyone is a part. So that is what they are trying to do, like giving proper way for the pedestrians, for the cyclists, and for the cars. So that is happening to some extent now.
Navya, you worked on a master plan.
Yeah. Previously, the topic that you were telling about, the inclusion, previously they used to call barrier-free environment.
Okay.
But now they have changed it to universal design.
Okay.
So, if at all I have to speak about my district, there is no inclusion at all in that area. But including women and child safety, everything that is taken care of. But there is an ideal design, like the universal design that is being implemented in Nizamabad district, that is my neighborhood district. So all the government offices, they have the ramp, they have those tactile tiles, and then every public space is accessible to everyone.
Okay.
So that is something that I wanted to implement in my district as well. For now, collectorate, we have integrated district collectorate complexes. Every office will be in one campus itself, like in one building itself. So we have that in that integrated district office complex is universal design. Except for that, not any other government building.
So yeah, Romit, like there was one part that I wanted to ask, like I completely forgot what we were still talking about.
So like you have to repeat the question for me.
No, regarding inclusion.
Lost.
Okay, well, one of the things that I find absurd, okay, here people have, the designers maybe, they completely forgot about the certain basic principles. No, so I see footpath and then there are zebra crossings and those zebra crossings enter into the dividers. It cannot enter a divider, it has to go past on the other side of the road.
It is not being done by urban designers.
Urban designers, yeah,
No,
you have to note that.
yeah. There are people, the painters, okay, fine. I'm not
all these that you're talking
or a
about, these were
transport
done
planner,
initially.
Yeah.
But these were done initially. All these planners and all, they have come into picture, I think, on
I should share one story. Yeah,
Sorry?
I should share one story. I should
Okay,
share
cool.
one
Go
story.
on. Yeah.
On the first day, so in Telangana, our mentors are district employment officers.
Yeah.
So in Rajasthan, in AM1, we got Rajay, Rajiv, who is a fellow for Kota district in Rajasthan for phase 1.
Oh yeah, he's phase one.
In phase 1, he worked in phase 1. So he came and he shared his experience. Like he told that his mentor was CPO, Chief Planning Officer.
Oh.
So from then I wanted to meet. I didn't know that there is a position, there is a designation called Chief Planning Officer. So I wanted to meet him as soon as I landed in my district. First day I asked my ma'am, can we meet Chief Planning Officer? She like district employment officer. She's so supportive. Like she was my mentor. I have changed my mentor. So yeah, first day I asked her, ma'am, can we meet Chief Planning Officer? And I was like, okay, I can tell him that I am also a city planner. Karke, like I was so excited to meet him. I went to his office, and after looking at his board, like his name was written and Chief Planning Officer BCom.
BCom.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was like,
wow.
okay. And he has an
Interesting.
experience of, I think, 20 years, 15 to 20 years experience. So yeah, when
You can find
when
people also
Mansi
very
told,
similar. Yeah, right.
when
So
Mansi told those were done in the initial stages, I remembered this story.
Yeah, because these are fields that are still in the emerging phase in India.
Correct.
People don't know about these fields as much even now. So yeah, so the
Even I,
ones you're
even I,
talking
when
about
I
are
met
not
my,
done by us.
so when I
even
met
when
my
I met
okay.
my ADC, na,
Uh,
so I also like he also got to know that I am an urban planner. So he was ready to offer me a job. He said, "Okay, we have a post available for urban,
oh,
and would you
you
be
could have
willing to
done
join?" I said,
after
"Sir, I
MGNF
have my
as well.
fellowship. I have my fellowship right now. I cannot join like this one." So yeah, there's a like huge demand for urban planners. I think in
Yeah.
at least in the district administration, there is definitely a demand.
There are 7 vacant posts in my district, just for one
Oh.
municipality. There are 7 vacant posts. Only one person is handling all the things.
But like, what is your take on these kind of jobs? Like, are you interested in taking, let's say, for example, if after the fellowship ends, would you be interested in taking these jobs?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it, but yeah,
As long as
if at all there is a
Nimi is
chance.
not involved,
As
you are
long
interested.
as long as Nimi is not involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think there's something about the culture in the administration
Yeah.
that is, I think that is not appealing somehow. Like,
Yeah.
True, true.
So I try to look back, and then I spent 3 years preparing for civil services, and I'm like, I would have been working with these people. I'm more than happy not having qualified civil services. I kind of,
correct.
yeah, the disillusionment
Yeah,
that
like
happens after
after coming here also, I was a little attracted with all the administrative power and how much initiatives you can take while being in that position. But the same thing, working with these people, it's like okay, that's a lot of frustration also that you have to deal with.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Cool.
True,
So,
true.
any fun
I
incidences with
completely
you
agree.
guys? Any fun incidences you would like to share?
Fun incident. I have already shared it, right?
Oh, okay. Mansi, I know
Fun
because you
incidences.
keep getting in conflict with all people around. And I love picking fights
Which
with
be
them.
conflict. No, it's just that okay. I don't keep getting in conflict. I just don't like being dictated. If someone tells me you're not supposed to do this, I get irritated. I'm like, who the hell are you to tell me not to do this? That is my only problem.
Even I end up in
And
situations like this.
hmm,
That's why I had to change my mentor. But she used to say, like, you should not cross this office. You should not go out. You can't go out. How can you go out?
Exactly.
You
That,
sit in
that has
office.
been happening with many of us Maharashtra fellows also. But
Yeah.
then we have stopped giving. Okay. Anyway.
So for the recording, let's call it a wrap then.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sure.